transition. But last week, Amy Trask said a lot of things about Brock Purdy, and she got crushed. And I even went on and retweeted one of her things. I said 7 terrific quarterbacks in Brock Purdy. Couldn't agree more with Amy. It's 7 terrific quarterbacks, and then the best one, the most outstanding one, Brock. So I was kind of being snarky and sarcastic in my retweet. But like when somebody gets crushed like that for being honest, and that was her take, and she did by Niner fans just get destroyed. And I saw she was on our air, and I heard
Willard
her
and Dibs had her
She was on
on
Willard and Dibs, and she came on, and they questioned her, and it was very professional. But like, is she right? Like we're looking at what Brock Purdy did on Saturday. Man. Like, is she right? So like we're so quick to judge and react. And I was with all the Niner fans. Like, what's she talking about? But then when you saw the game on Saturday, she might be right. But Brock Purdy might be the least talented quarterback in the tournament still.
I'm giving you a bro hug from over here because I wasn't ready to bring that up. But I thought she was the biggest loser. And technically she may not have been if you could just step back and kind of get what she was trying to say. But FP, I'm being real. I'm on record. I thought that was kind of a low blow. But as I watched that game progress,
I thought it was a low blow
like,
too.
Amy Dub for the win. You know what I mean? Like, damn. I know she was saying, I just can't. I thought of that. I'm just letting you know. I thought of Jimmy Garoppolo. I thought of Amy. But could you imagine the victory lap she would have taken if they would have lost that game?
I'm wearing it. I was wrong. I think. I mean, based on
you don't think
Saturday
differently
alone,
of Brock.
No.
I think to me, there's 2 Brocks now. One in the rain and one in regular conditions. Although his worst game as a pro, there was no rain against the Ravens. So I'm not nervous, but I'm like, maybe he'll throw you one. And he ain't the only quarterback that'll throw you one. But I can't come in here and tell you this dude won't throw you one because he threw Green Bay 3, FP, and they couldn't hold on to it.
Football's been played in the winter as long as I can remember. There's rain, there's snow, there's sleet, there's hail. You play outdoors most of the time. I know you got the domes and stuff. But, like, did we ever talk about Joe Montana or Steve Young about, it rained today and Steve had a bad game, or it rained on Sunday and Joe had a bad game? We never talked about that. So if you want to put Brock in this category, and trust me, I'm the president of the fan club. Yeah. But it's making me think that Amy had a good point as much as we all, including myself, got pissed. And so sometimes we have the headline or somebody's wrong on Twitter, but we never recircle and say, hey, maybe give her a little bit of credit is all I'm saying. I know this is probably the worst take ever, and people are going to get pissed at me for saying it.
No, it's not as worse as hers.
Do you have what she said? This is what she said last week.
4 games this week. That means we have 8 quarterbacks. Did that math all by myself. 4 games, 8 quarterbacks, 7 terrific quarterbacks, and Brock Purdy. Now, Brock Purdy is a good quarterback. Make no mistake about it. Everybody be calm, 49er fans. I'm not suggesting Brock's not a good quarterback. He is. I simply don't put him in the same category as the other quarterbacks. So I'll say it again. 8 quarterbacks, 7 terrific quarterbacks, and Brock Purdy.
And when I heard this, I was pissed. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Because that's shade.
She has an opinion. Yeah. And in this, I'm going to get deep here, but we in our society, it's okay to disagree. But now the way things have evolved, if somebody disagrees with somebody, you want to absolutely kill them. You want to murder somebody because they're not on the same side of the aisle as you're on, whether it's politics, whether it's sports, whatever. It's okay to disagree with somebody. It's okay to have a debate. It's okay, Goo, if you and I go out and have a beer, to sit there and get into a little bit of an argument about Brock Purdy.
Stoney and I do it all the time.
Or the Golden State Warriors, or whoever it is. We can get in a little bit of argument and then have a beer and laugh and high five.
And you learn from one another, too. My ears are not closed. If you say something, I'll be like, FP, you know what? You've changed my mind. There's nothing wrong with that.
I like when people make me think. I like when I disagree with somebody and you make me think about the other side. And I'm like, damn, those are good points. And I think if you close off and say, I'm always right, and I know more than you, and you're wrong, how do we grow as people? So, what she said pissed me off last week. I'm not going to lie.
But what if
she's right? Go ahead, Goo. What if she's right?
I'm shocked that then I would say to you, aren't we being unfair to Brock Purdy in the sense that we're going to use that one game, which ended up being a bad game,
big game,
to give Amy the dub? Okay, we're not going to remember the good that Brock is putting out. So we're going to use that one game, and it was a playoff game, but he won 2 last year against Seattle and a damn good Cowboy defense at full strength. So my point is, I did think of her comments, but to go all the way in the pool, I'm a jump in.
No, you're right.
I would be like,
you're right.
It's a little short-sighted that, oh, you're going to take that game, so now she's right. Because she couldn't have fixed her mouth to say that before, the playoffs started.
It's kind of the way she said it, too.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, now that's a different thing. That there is some merit to that.
Right? And so, I think, Goo, you're right. Like, maybe I'm doing the recency thing and it's just basing it on one game. And if he comes out and throws for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns against the Lions, I'm going to look like an idiot right now. But, he just had – maybe it's just a bad game. But then he had the one against Baltimore, and then he had this on a big stage. So we'll see. We'll see. He did – I'm a big body language guy, Goo, and every time they did a close-up of Brock Purdy on Saturday, he just looked like deer in the headlights, dude. He didn't have that, like – this is great radio because I'm giving you the
gotcha. No, but
he didn't have that eye of the tiger that looked like I'm coming after you. I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna make you. I'm gonna beat your soul. I'm gonna beat you however I can. He just kind of looked like he looked young. His face looked like cold and just like, I don't know. He had no emotion.
But the end result is what you wanted.
And he turned the page.
Yeah, the end result is what you wanted. And you know what I appreciate about you, FP, and I mean this, the fact that you say you're the president of the fan club, but you're open-minded to look at Brock Purdy and say, man, did I go too fast? Not second-guess yourself, but you're open to be like, boy, okay, this might be something that I missed. Because I still think he's a good quarterback. I can't hold him accountable for just one game.
Dude, we were both thinking during the game.
Bad game.
You guys were all thinking it during the game that, is this our franchise guy? If they lose this game and he plays like this. I was saying
you can't be a franchise quarterback, Spadoni and Loveman, if you can't throw in the rain. Like, there is no, I'm good on sunny days, and that was going to be a problem.
I thought I was watching Jimmy Garoppolo for most of that game. Just to keep it a buck. Like, that looked like Jimmy for a lot of the games I saw him in big games offensively. And Jimmy had some good ones.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Did.
And then ultimately, Brock did what Jimmy did at times, and not to that level. He had a good comeback.
I was having Alex Smith flashbacks at times.
Did you guys go to where I went, though? Like, is this our franchise guy? That thought crossed my mind during the game. Like, if he's going to play like this in big games, is this the guy we want?
Well, the weather.
I got a lot of honesty,
dude,
man.
Yeah. I thought it. So forgive me.
You ain't by yourself. Twitter was off the chain.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I actually was thinking, is Brock Purdy our franchise guy? And I love Brock because, like, his story resonates with me a lot because I always had to beat the odds, and he's beating the odds every day, and I love the guy. But then I'm seeing him, and he looked lost at times. He looked there was a blank stare on his face. I'm like, bro, this is the biggest game. I need you. I need that cockiness. I need that swagger. I need that drip. Like, find a way to beat these guys. And I just, maybe at the end, I saw some fist pumps at the end, and I saw the cockiness come back. So like I said, you're only as good as your last at-bat. You're only as good as your last drive. And that's what I'm going to hang my hat on for Sunday against the Lions.
Yeah, and it's winner goes to the Super Bowl. Lori Matthews, she's a favorite of the show. First NorCal Credit Union chat. Spadoni, this is for you. She said the Jimmy comparisons are trash. That's Lori Matthews. She didn't like it.
So was Brock's game for the most part on Saturday.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can make an argument the Packers outplayed the Niners 55 minutes and the last 5 minutes the Niners. But this is why we like sports. I'm telling you, I'd be sleeping in my car if I didn't bet it. FP, I thought this was 38-10, and I was being generous I didn't think they had the wherewithal, the physicality. I thought Love would be under duress. So that's why later on in the week, I'm going to come down the road of the Niner defense of like, hey, what's going on up front, man? Bosa, you getting a whole hell of a lot of – you're the highest paid defense. Like, what's up? And getting manhandled by receivers if it's just one play. And we got calls, FP. We'll break it all down more on the other side.